That's the key difference, if you ask me. And yeah, Venkatesh, Bala, can you share your thoughts?
Thanks, Karthik. Thanks for your experience.
Yeah. I'll be seeing after a few minutes.
Sure, sure.
Thanks, Karthikeyan. So, guys, you are familiar with
Sorry, Bala, your voice is too low.
Is it fine now?
It is too low again.
Is it okay now?
Please continue. Let's see.
Okay. I am Bala. I believe you guys are familiar with me. I'm in security field for more than 3+ years. I'm working as a penetration tester. I work with web application penetration and network penetration, mobile, and sometimes on log analysis. And to develop your skills on penetration testing, it's more of like with practice, you come to know a lot of things. Through practice, you will find a lot of interesting scenarios. If you're just going to try it out with some test labs, you will face because it's very simple. Once you start practicing or start doing any penetration testing with the apps like level 2 or something in multi-day or level 5 in multi. And also, I believe the key point in penetration testing is that understanding the nature of applications, the stack of how it has been built on. For example, if you're testing an ASP.NET application, you need to have some basic understanding of the application so that you can play around with it and find flaws to abuse in it. So the next point to look into while you're doing an application testing is that business logic, whether you're able to abuse the business logic. Most of the cases, what normal pen testers do is that they focus based on the point of finding bugs instead of finding logical issues, which actually matters when it comes to penetration testing with some clients. Not some clients, for everyone. So once you're able to abuse it, you're actually impacting the application in a greater way. I mean, for example, the issue you're finding maybe is sensitive data exposure. Normally, based on the information that is given, it is mostly in medium. It is going to be in medium. But if through business logic abuse, you're getting some sensitive critical information, it is going to be higher critical compared to SQL injection. That is going to be high. My voice is clear, right? No.
Yes, Bala.
Yeah. Also, one more thing is that look into the Twitters, see if any new tools are coming, get hands-on with the new tools. And when you're doing a career with penetration testing, you need certification, which is going to come in handy, and also it is going to be a merit wherever you. That's it from my end.
Thanks, Bala.
And Venkatesh, I'll add a few more points as well.
Sure, please go.
So another thing is like we come across so many pen testers. So everybody is pretty skilled in whatever they do. So if you give them a vulnerable site, they will be getting so many bugs out of it. But the key difference between a good and excellent pen tester is how they report the finding. So that's very, very important. So if you take the case of a bug bounty, even if you whenever you exploit it, right, it depends the bounty you receive and whether you receive it or not depends on how you report it. So reporting is equally important as much as you find the vulnerability. A good report will show people that you actually know about it and you can, it is easy to reproduce. Because in a way, if you see, right, so whatever we are doing is we are taking apart the application which a developer has built, and eventually you'll be going back to the developer for either a bounty or saying in terms of penetration testing, you'll be asking them to fix it. So it is like you are playing with their product that they have invested so much of their time. So you need to put it in a way that it's it makes sense to them. It's also easy to reproduce. So that's apply for an ask them to appear for an interview. So that's where your certifications play a key role. So if you have a certification, it already proves to the recruiter that you have the required skills for at least appearing for the interview. And beyond that, it's your skill. So you can take it however you like. But so in a way, certifications are important in the field that we are currently in. Thanks, Venkatesh. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask us.
And Karthikeyan and Bala, if you want, you can be on the call. Otherwise, if you have any other engagement, we can go ahead with that.
Sure, Venkatesh. I'll be here till 5:30.
Sure, sure.
Same here, Venkatesh. I'll be here till
Got it. Let me check with others whether they'll be able to join.
While we wait, any question, guys? Do you want to ask anything from the lessons that we previously covered, or any question in general? Please feel free to ask. There are no bad questions, so every question is game. Just shoot it. Sure.
Actually, like as we come across different newses, like this company is getting hacked, this company is getting
Mhm.
hacked. Like, what are the ways that the hackers get away without even getting caught? Like they penetrate into into the network, they take away the essential information, they leak it, and they just vanish away, and they're not caught. Like, what are they doing? That how are they becoming anonymous for the whole time?
So becoming anonymous, right? So there are different levels to it. It depends on your operation security. It's called as OPSEC. So it depends on who is going to catch you. So if the highest authorities after you, you need to take additional steps. For example, if you take the case of hackers trying to infiltrate a network, right? So they make use of Tor. Have you heard about Tor network,
Yes,
onion
I
routing
have.
protocol? Yeah.
I have.
So with that, they can actually maintain their anonymity, and also they will not be using of their any of the networks in which has been purchased in their own money. So it actually depends on they compromise a target, and they will use that target to make further attacks. And everything will be through the onion routing protocol, that is Tor, so that even if you So you know how Tor works, right? So if you look at the exit node, the previous node will not know which nodes actually sent the packet. So that will be a
Exactly.
dead
Yes,
end
sir.
for them. So this is how everything is done. And also they will not be actually, so if you are getting a reverse shell, they will not be getting it back to their mission that they are targeting. So there will be another device on the internet which is called as the C2 server, command and control server. So all the reverse shell and everything will be coming back to the server, and also the malware that they write, right? It will not it require maximum intervention from the hacker. So it has its own kind of intelligence where it can transmit and move laterally throughout the network. So that's how it's actually done. And also, most of these hackers have the site in the Tor where they show proofs of where they show proof that the target has been compromised in terms of files that they have captured. So it'll not be on the normal sites that we use. It will be mostly on the Tor. So that's how they maintain their anonymity.
Okay, sir.
And they will not it's pretty common that they will not use Windows or common Linux. They will be going for Unix or something in something like that, which the absolute purpose of using that is to maintain anonymity.
Okay, sir.
I think we have two more investors and teammates over here who are going to share their suggestions on becoming a better contester. So we'll start off with Satish. Can you please go ahead and provide us your kind suggestions on that?
Yes, Venkatesh. Thank you. Hey guys, I think you guys might have seen me in web application overview. That time we have went through a lot of different vulnerabilities, I believe.
Yes, sir.
So, whatever labs that we have installed, I would recommend you to practice all the labs. That is the best place to start with, and try to understand how things work. Like whatever you take, that can be how internet works, how web application works, how web server works. What is the behind the scene story? Just try to understand behind the scene story. That's where you can get started with. So once after understanding the exact flow of any application, it is easy for you to do web application penetration testing. Similarly, it applicable for network. When you understand how things are working in OSA layer, or when you understand how a machine can operate, so you are naturally understanding like the way the data has been sent from one place to another. That's the starting point to understand actually how things are working. So that's where you can get started with pen testing and slowly practice your labs. Whatever labs that has been given by our pen testers or the trainers, just practice all the labs. Whenever you find time, just allocate some time for each and every lab for your time based on your schedules, and focus on only one domain at a time, not multiple domains at the same time. That might be quite confusing for you all. And I believe that this training experience would be giving you a lot of different perspectives. And yeah, of course, you might have asked a lot of different questions, and might be this have set some direction in cybersecurity industry. So I recommend you to choose any one and then focus on that in-depth process of understanding pen testing, maybe by web or network or whatever you are learning. So just go deeper and more, more detailed. That's where you can understand the basics, and from the basics you can further, learn anything, and you can accomplish any career opportunities that you can grab in cybersecurity. And for any questions related to web, network, or mobile pen testing, you can always reach out to us, maybe in the chat. So we are happy to help you or direct you towards that.
Thank you, Satish. We have Vivek, investor. Uh, Vivek, can you please go ahead and share your suggestions?
Yeah, hi everyone, good evening. So, you guys would remember me from date and awesome training. So, so my best advice would be to start learning all your fundamentals and get strong in it. So, as Satish said, stick to practicing it. So a regular practice will automatically improve your basic skills so that you can find a better placement opportunity when it comes to cybersecurity. So keep on training, guys. So that would be my advice. And if you guys have any doubts or question, you can always reach out to us. So we are ready to help. So all the best to everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, Vivek. As I told already, people who have other works can submit to team, they can disconnect and continue once we're done providing suggestions. We can certainly- Thank you for providing the suggestions. CSW. We have one more person who will be joining in 2 minutes. Once we return, I will suggestions. Just keep those. That was good.
Yeah, sir. So my question is like, as there are different games all around the world, we see people using different hacks over it, like aim bots or those things. So are those anyway related to the cybersecurity domain? Because like, is there anything something connected to the server side, which the clients like where the users come into the place, he just does a scripting from his end so that the server side information comes to his PC and the hack works? Is it something like that?
Karthikeyan, can you answer this?
Can you repeat your question? Sorry, I didn't get it.
So as we play different games, so we see users using different hacks, where the aim bots, this wall hacks, those come into the picture. So here, different. What happens here basically is that the the user basically fires through the wall or does knows the enemy's actual
Mm-mm.
actual location without even looking over it. Is this something related to the cybersecurity side where the server leaks the information from any side and the hack just notes it down and just displays on the user screen? Is something like that in this thing, or is it totally different?
So, hacking game is actually kind of where they try to reverse engineer and do some kind of a binary exploitation. So, for example, there is an exe, right? So it's essentially it contains the source code.
Yes,
So
sir.
most of the source code will the developer will try to obfuscate it and make sure that other people will not be able to reverse engineer so that they can alter it according to their own needs. But in some cases, an attacker would be able to reverse it and they can make whatever changes that they want. So that's how most of the game hacking works. So they'll be tinkering with the installation, that is the source code, and tampering with it. It will
Okay.
not be like how we saw about web application and network. So it's not like that. It's a different kind of a hacking. It's called as a thick client.
Thick client.
Yep.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, in most cases, if you remember, when you're using any mod or crack exe files, you'll have to move some .dll.
Okay, sir.
So those are like a side, I mean, DLL injection. That is also a part of the client.
Fine, sir.
Okay. So let me start off with my experience. To become a best pen tester or a better pen tester, to start off with becoming a pen tester, we always have to have something called as curiosity. So if you are curious, it will be obvious. You have all your uh, talent and everything will come into place once you start being curious. So whatever you start, just be curious on to know the root of whatever you want to know. So even in hacking, right? So let's take for an example. One second. Sorry, I was held upon an emergency call. Okay, so what I was telling about is being curious, right? So let's take one example. As I think someone before me from CSW told about let's take the web application. So if you see a web application, if you are curious, you will try to know how that actually works, how that is made up, how that is secured up. So everything comes out of curiosity. If you're actually not curious about something, then it will be hard for you to learn, or you will feel that is kind of a bore to learn something. So curiosity is the first thing which you have to check whether you still have that or not. If you are unsure on that, then better not to choose this career, because curiosity is required even if you are experienced like 5 to 10 years also. Uh, the burning spirit of curiosity is always required on this, especially on the cybersecurity field. And when it comes to certifications, as I told already, I think people have told already, it's kind of an entry ticket, but it's not the only ticket which you can use to sail the whole world. So just a normal certification will suffice, but it is not always recommended. If you are economically not well enough to have kind of certification, that's totally fine. You can go ahead and start doing something by securing the open source softwares, uh, create programs. You can write code in GitHub. You can showcase your talents. So there you can start supporting. You can do some sessions on public forums, conferences. So there are other ways which you can show off your skills, or you can prove your talent. So it's like certification is not the only way. It's again, it's a easy one way to get inside, but uh, as per the industry, it is hard for us to get inside. But if you are good enough, or if you have the make and talent to do whatever you wanted to do, you will always land in cybersecurity job. It's not an issue. And when it comes to learning, so as I think other people have clearly covered that. So when you start to learn pen testing, it's always recommended. The basic approach to do pen testing is to break stuff is to create that first. So when we are trying to, that's how I learned. I started creating everything first, and then I started breaking down those things. So if this also works for you, it might work. So whenever you try to break something, just think about how to create it, or how well it can be created to avoid breaking stuff. In that way, you will level up the game, and then you can, end of the day, you will be providing some solution or recommendation on how to fix it. So if the fix or the suggestion have to be reliable or have to make sense. So you in order to give a solution or suggestion which actually makes sense, you have to know how to do that, or you must have done it. So it is always recommended to have a perspective from, if you are testing a web application, have the perspective from developer. If you are testing a network infrastructure, have a perspective from network engineer or system engineer. And then if you see it from their lens, you will be able to identify more vulnerabilities than looking at the vulnerable web application or infrastructure from a pen test perspective. Yeah, as always, I told the pen test perspective is always required, but having this developer perspective and the network or system engineer perspective will give you more confidence and guidance on how to identify bugs quickly, and also how to give a solution which is actually making sense. I think Praveen have joined, and let me check with you. That's it from my end. So any questions from you? Okay, it's totally fine. Yeah. Please go ahead.
So suppose like I'm sitting free in my house. I want to test out some pen testing things. So I just open a website and want to see if I'm able to penetrate inside it and take out some crucial information about it. So like, how do you start with? Like, as I know that I'm not authorized to do it. So even if I have a basic certificate, so uh, like even if I gather some information first, and then if I start to start to penetrate inside it, if I'm getting caught, like what should I be doing at that time?
Actually, you should not do penetration testing on websites or any asset which actually you are not authorized to do. So if you want to try out your skills, there are always playgrounds like Diamond Vulnerable Web Application, or Hackabout, or if you want real playground, then go for bug bounties where they provide you a scope, and so that will be your playground. So that will be an ethical hacker's way to do a pen test.
Then what about the different companies claiming that if you try to if you try to penetrate inside our system, we will pay you this much. So like, how
That's
does
what
those
we
people
call it
do
as
it?
bug bounty. They will define the scope. That means this is the URL which where you have to try out.
Okay,
So you have to stick to that.
fine, sir.
Yeah, Praveen, please go ahead. Sorry for the.
Yeah, sure, Venkatesh. So, Sayan, you said about the reward uh, kind of programs, right? Yeah. So for that, you can. So most probably, right? So all the people from 2013, 14, like that. So from that time till this time, everyone goes to the web apps. So whatever web apps are seen, so it can be a single web application. Like you can take satyabama.com. So it is a single application, right? So there you can have more functionalities like different departments, logins, and sort of things. So
Yes, sir.
that is actually called single application. Most people will not go there at all. So I'm just trying to figure out a few things which will help for you. Basic thing where all pentesters or the non-security professionals who want to enter their career into security things, security engineer or security analyst, so they can participate in few bug bounties. They can gain experience, knowledge, so that it would be useful in the near future. So when I say the single application, right? So you can focus on there, or else we have like google.com, yahoo.com, like this, like a big programs. So there you'll be having a multiple applications, multiple applications, multiple sites, multiple experts, and multiple IPs. So in that case, right, your attack surface is large actually. So when the attack surface, so this is the side where all the peoples from 2013 everyone in a competitive way. So if you want to be less competitive, if you want to enter the less competitions, right? So you can try different like uh the windows application. Windows application, you need to figure out few parts. Like I'm just telling an overview of it, so I'm not going anyway deep into it. So the exe pen testing, or the Android pen testing. So these are some other, the others iOS. So right. So in this nowadays, like how many people use iOS? So like I can tell like 30 to 40% of people use iOS, and rest of the people are Android.
Yeah.
So in such cases, right? So the testing also in such demand, because not all
Sorry, Praveen, I think you are breaking.
so if you want to get into bug bounties, right, consider these and just domain before want to say testing, right? We have more playgrounds for that. You need to create your own. So if you're doing, you need to develop a small apps, so that you know the internal functionalities and what is the architecture, and and how you are creating a functionality. So it just like what happens in button, what happens if you move a slide and the data interacts with the server. So these kinds of informations you will know when you're creating. So this is how you will be figuring out which domain you will be entering, and figuring out how you will be how you are developing. Like if you see like when it comes to web app development, right? So basically we'll be learning HTML, CSS. This is basics. And you will then programs, right? Programming languages. So likewise you have different beginner kinds of stuffs for different domains. Whichever domain you're interested in, the competition is more or less. So you need to go there, and you have to develop your basic skills, and then you come to the pen testing with the help of the open source playgrounds. So like this stuff. So this is how you will be you can enter into the bug bounty kind of stuffs and all, so that it would helpful for you when you enter the real world pen testing roles.
Understood, sir.
Yep. So
Yep.
yeah,
Thanks,
Venkatesh.
Praveen.
Thank you, Venkatesh.
So I think we are done from our side. So if there are any final thoughts or questions, please post into our Discord channel. We'll be happy to help. thank you for attending our sessions. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.